Hey students, so it's me, Miss Trivett. Even though you can't see me, I'm going to be showing you a little bit about how I would like you to be taking notes while you are watching one of my instructional videos. So remember that one of your materials that I am asking you to use is a composition notebook. So I'm going to basically draw a composition book. This is going to be a probably terrible drawing, but I'm going to give you an idea of how I want you to set up your notes every single time that we watch a video to do some new learning. So bear with me here. Let's pretend that this is an opened up composition book or journal. Now remember that I asked that if you can get grid in the back of your journal, you could go ahead and do that. The only reason that I like grid for math journal is because when it helps you line up your numbers, keeps things organized. And then anytime we do a graph, it also helps with that too. So as you can see here, this is the left side of my journal. This is the right side of my journal. This is the middle of the journal. And so if you open it up to where there's a page to write on the left and a page to write on the right, that's kind of what this picture is representing. So up here in the top section here on the right-hand side, this is where we usually put our learning target. So usually there's a couple of lines, and some people even use like the blank white space at the top of this page to write their learning target. Remember, your learning target is what are we going to learn today? What concept are we focusing on? So if I were to write a learning target for today's little video I'm making, I would say I can, let's see, we can say I can set up my math journal to take notes. That's just an example of one that we could say for this little video. You don't have to write the words learning target in that section every time. Just the I can statement, the actual learning that's going to take place needs to go there. And I will always give that to you in our videos, so you don't have to make something up. Now, the next section in our notes is down here, this big section on the right-hand side, and those are called the teacher notes. So in this the whole rest of this page, you just need a little bit at the top for your learning target, and the entire rest of this page is for anything that I am giving you to write down. So anything that you see me write on my screen in a video is what you would put in this spot. So I'm just going to put write down. That should be a W. That does not look like a W. Write down everything that Mrs. Trivett is writing on her video. So when you watch an instructional video, I'll say, okay, here's example 1, and I'll start writing down some stuff. All of that stuff goes in this section right here. Now let's talk a little bit about over here on the left-hand side of our paper. Most of this side of the paper we call our student work area. Now, I love having this space because a lot of times kids need time to work out problems. If you're working out a warm-up, do it in your student work area. If you're working on an ed puzzle where the video stops and it asks you to solve a couple of questions, do the work in the student work area. You can also use the student work area of your journal to work out problems on your homework that connect with this lesson, or that possibly could be on a test connected to this lesson. Basically anything in this area, this is your spot to do what you need with it. Some days you're going to have a ton of stuff going on here, and then sometimes there's just not a ton of student work to do. So it just totally is your spot to do what you want with. And the last section, and it's only going to be a small section, kind of like the learning target is kind of a small section. This bottom is going to be our summary. And in the summary section, I will show you how to write a summary every time we do one. But basically, you're summarizing what the lesson was. So what did we learn? You could use the learning target to make your sentence. You could use the teacher notes to make your sentence. You could use some things that you did in the student work to make your sentence. But I usually ask 1 to 2 sentences, very basic, on what did you learn? What is this lesson about in your own words? So, not writing down exactly what the learning target says over again, that would be silly. I want you to put it in your own words. What did you learn about? And I will show you examples of the summary. So, this is 1 to 2 sentences. And really, what you're answering is, what did I learn? And then if we wanted to write down, kind of going back here with the student work section, if we wanted to write down what this is, it's basically student space for working out other problems. Could be homework problems, it could be little problems that I pause and ask you to answer on one of our instructional videos. Whatever problems you need to work out, that's your space to do it in. So everything's right here on this one sheet. Now, a lot of times we take a little more notes than this section can hold. So you would just flip a page and work again on the back. But we always want to make sure that we start every new lesson with 2 pages open flat, and we want to set it up just like this. So hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea of how to set up your notes for your first instructional video.